So, hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining to our webinar. A very interesting topic, of course. As you could see while you were registering for the webinar, today's umbrella topic is studying industrial engineering in Germany, and it's a subject webinar type of the webinars that we have every week. And as always, during these webinars, unlike the ones that you attended, for example, 2 days ago, I'm not alone, and I am joined by some representatives from several German universities who will present their study programs to you. Quick overview for those who do not know who are not familiar with the webinar style of Zoom meetings. So you can see the Q&A button. It's just next to the chat. You can click on this Q&A button. It is already open and it will be open until the end of the webinar. And you can send in any questions, of course, ideally related to the studying in Germany and particular programs. And then we'll address them very quickly. If not, they're not immediately answered, we'll have a live Q&A session after the presentations are done. And then one of our guests will address this question live for you. Also keep an eye on the chat because we will be also using the chat actively. So, let me now jump into my presentation, very short one, until we go to our guests. So we have, as I said, guests from 3 German universities. We'll start today with 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. And we have Daniela Wolf, who will make a presentation on the Master of Science level program in International Technology Transfer Management. Then we'll move to Landshut, Hochschule Landshut, and we have Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘪, who will talk about bachelor level program in Sustainable Industrial Operations and Business. And then we are moving to Fachhochschule Kiel, and we have Stefan Echbalian, who will talk about Industrial Engineering, a Master of Science level program. So before we move to this interesting part of our presentation, let me tell you quickly who is behind today's webinar. So our name is My German University, and we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So when you visit our page, mygermanuniversity.com, you will be able to find over 2,500 degree programs, which are at least mostly taught in English. There will be both on bachelor and also master's level. And our goal is to assist international students in finding their way to Germany, to study in Germany. And one of the key ways of doing so is through our study finder, for example, that you can see on the left-hand side, a small version of it. But when you visit the full version of our study finder in the top left corner of our website, then you will be able to see all of its filters, and you can happily use these filters to find the best fitting program for you very effectively and efficiently. Then the second way of helping you is through writing up articles. We have over 150 comprehensive free articles that are available for you. And of course, they are about studying in Germany. You can find articles on various topics like, for example, blocked account or visa or letter of motivation or CV, German higher education system in general, etc., etc. And yeah, you can deepen your knowledge regarding these topics for free. And last but not least, the third way of helping you is through organizing our webinars. We have around 150 webinars per year and on different topics. Of course, it can be Uni Assist webinar, visa webinar, scholarships webinar, studying in Germany, general webinar, or subject webinars, like, for example, that we are having today, or it can be MBA, studying MBA in Germany, studying global and European studies in Germany, studying philosophy, etc., etc. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can find them in our webinar section on our website, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and, of course, attend them for free. Regarding our team, we are based in Hamburg, in northern Germany, but we are also all over Germany and all over the world, and that's why we are counseling also in various languages, and some of them you can see in front of your screens. So also for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass. There you'll be able to find interesting programs regarding industrial engineering in Germany. But if you are more into English taught study programs, then My German University should be your stop. And you can see that we have various bachelor and master's level programs listed in our database, and most of them are English only, which means that you do not need any command of German to successfully get into these programs and then complete them successfully as well, of course. For those who don't know what to expect when it comes to studying this particular discipline, industrial engineering in Germany, and would like to have a bigger picture of, for example, what are the rankings of universities that are offering these programs, what is the range of tuition fees that you should expect, or what are the requirements that you must meet in almost every case, then this kind of generic information is provided in our subject pages. Also included, we have a subject page on industrial engineering, and you can please, you can freely tune into this page and read this information to have, again, to create a bigger picture for you of what does it mean to study this in Germany. Also, our suggestion would be that when you are searching for the right program, do not take into account only one specific element, like only fees or only rankings or only city names. You have to combine all these and even more to make sure that the program that you found and you are applying to fits your interest and background the best and will help you with your professional and career goals in the best way. So this is very important to take into account. Also, what I wanted to tell you is that there are two types of universities to know about, especially these are Universität type of university and University of Applied Sciences and in Germany. And the key difference between them that you should be aware of right now is in focus. So when it comes to University of Applied Sciences, the focus lies more on application and practice. In case of university or Universität type of university, the research lies more on research and theory. Again, this is a general information. So in addition to those aspects that I mentioned before that are important for finding the right program, please also take into account the wording that you are using while searching for the programs on our study finder. Be more flexible rather than really rigid, so that when you're flexible with wordings, when you are also when you take into account various aspects, then you will make sure that you are well aware of the this landscape of the programs, in this case of industrial engineering programs that Germany is able to offer you, then you have a good chances of making a very well informed decision. So, which is also crucial for your future success. That being said, let us now move to Berlin. Let us move to BBW, University of Applied Sciences, those type of universities I've already mentioned, more focus on practice. And it's Daniela Wolf, and she will now talk about International Technology and Transfer Management Program, Master's Level Program. Daniela?
Welcome again from BBW, University of Applied Sciences in Berlin, Germany. My name is Daniela. From the international office, and I have my nice colleague with me, Teresa. So please, so we are the team of BBW, and if you like, use the Q&A chat during the presentation, and Teresa will happy to answer your questions during the time, and I will jump into the presentation. I will speak a bit faster, so please don't wondering, because afterwards we are really happy to provide you with our presentation, so then you have more time to read it and so on. Yeah, and I haven't, sorry, yes. First question, why Berlin? Maybe the most important thing for students as you is that Berlin is pretty affordable regarding costs of living in comparison to other cities in Berlin, in Germany. Berlin is the startup capital of Europe. And you can say it's vibrant, and in addition, it's really, really green. And regarding clubs and parks, cafes, markets, and so on, and even the lakes around Berlin, we would say it's really, really worth it to live and to study here in Berlin. Yeah, why BBW University? First of all, we are a private university. And to the left, you can see our campus in Berlin, and to the right, our campus in Venice. We offer 22 industry-oriented study programs, and because we are a University of Applied Sciences, we are practical-oriented, and therefore we cooperate with around 200 industry partners. Currently, around 1,000 students are enrolled in our university, and we offer 3 study departments. And really important is that around 400 international students are enrolled currently. That means we have a really international atmosphere. We know about the concerns and needs, and yeah, we really, really like to work with you. Yeah, as mentioned already, we have 2 branch campus, and last but not least, we are state recognized, of course, and that means the degree from our university is the same as in every other university, the state ones, the public ones, whatever. So afterwards, you can you continue your academic career, or you can jump into the job market. Doesn't matter if it's international or national. Yeah, some course information. We have 2 intakes, 1st of April and 1st of October. And the official application deadlines are for this winter term is 15th of August. So the application process is running right now. And for the next summer term, 2024, it is the 15th of February. But because we are a private university, we are really flexible. So if you have any personal challenges, so please feel free to contact us and we will find a solution. Of course, we offer orientation days or welcome weeks, of course, and online classes are included. But mainly we are, or that course is on campus. As of course, an APS certificate is needed for students from India, China, and Vietnam. And last but not least, a little but important information, we have no age limit. So every age is welcome and we like to call it life experience. So yeah, feel free to study in our university. Short notes to our admission requirements. You need, of course, a bachelor's degree and at least a good English language skills of level B2. And a German language skills are not required because it's 100% English language. Really briefly, we have a really strong network with partnerships with universities, partner institutions, and of course companies, the global one, the big ones, middle ones. So we have our own research institute. We have our own startup center. So if you're interested in to found your own business, then you're welcome to use our the opportunity to visit our startup center, and they will happy to support you regarding, for example, create business plans. And what does it mean, University of Applied Sciences? What does it mean, practical approach? So that is always given by our professors and lecturers, of course, because they come directly from the economy and share all their experiences with you through their work of corporations, for example. And last but not least, the diversity. So the background of each of you, the background of your experiences is really important. Case studies, of course, and as I mentioned already, research projects in our own research institute. And last but not least, most of our bachelor's and master theses are business related. So from the beginning to the end, you will be guided, it's practical orientated, and industry relevant topics are given. That's a pretty long list. I just want to highlight some benefits because we are a private university. You have to pay study fees, and it's a challenge. But this is what you can expect from our university. Right now, we moved. That means you can expect a completely new and modern university building. We have small study groups and personal and close support. And for example, we offer a fixed semester planning. You don't have to care for anything. We will provide it for you, and you will receive it 4 weeks in advance before the study, the semester starts, and you can plan your leisure time, your part-time job, and you have a planning safety. And just a short note about support, advice, and mentoring for you as an international student, because you are always in the center and you will surrounded by several departments and institutions, that you feel welcomed, that you feel that you have a smooth transition into your new environment and to your new university. And now, the second part is more details about our master's degree course, International Technology Transfer Management. What is that? The short name is ITTM. What does it mean, ITTM program? So definitely, it has been specifically tailored for engineering students looking to a career in management. And it's a combination of innovative technologies and management that is really important, that is always a mixture. So that is a management of complex transfer managements, local and international context, and so on and so on. So it's more in general program. What is the motivation for technology transfer in general? So these mentioned megatrends, for example, globalization, democracy, urbanization, and sustainability, and so on and so on, these megatrends lead to a transformation in society. And new and other technologies are required. So this is what you can see, for example, provided technologies to the society. And you are able to give this to the society, for example, and this is given by your study content. And these are some module examples in technology areas, technology transfer techniques, management, law, and communication. So as I mentioned already, always make sure that you are more a kind of general manager. And and in addition, foreign language. You will have this module is embedded in your study course, technical German as a foreign language. Second, you will have case studies. So, for example, student consulting projects and student scientific research seminars. And last but not least, your final examination will be a master thesis and your colloquium. And in general, competencies regarding this field of technology transfer as a technology transfer manager, project management, analytic and structured, cross-functional experiences, intercultural skills, and soft skills. And really important perspectives after graduation. You will be able to perform the following. As you can see, a lot of fields you have the chance to work in. For example, manage international projects, safeguard international technology transfer processes, develop cooperative international support structures, and so on and so on. And a little overview that you get an impression of the facts. The study course itself is called International Technology Transfer Management. The academic degree is the Master of Science. The section is Industrial Engineering, and the type of study is full-time. You can start the study in the winter semester or summer semester. The duration is 4 semesters, and the ECTS points are 120 credit points. The location is in Berlin, and the language is 100% English. And the study fee in total will be 16,440 euros. And we know to pay the whole amount in advance is pretty tough. So we offer to pay in installments. 4 installments are 4,110 euros per semester. And for non-EU citizens, we kindly ask for an application fee in the amount of 250 euros. And last but not least, we would be very happy to support you. And we highly recommend to use the opportunities to get more information, to get more detailed information. This is given by our taster lecture. Just book a taster lecture via our website. Use our monthly international information event, or chat with our students from ITTM. This is called Unibody. Or last but not least, use our personal and individual student counseling. So then you have more the chance face-to-face, more to ask individual questions, and so on. And to contact our professor, Robert Dust, is very happy and expected your questions regarding academic content or academic questions. And our Student Service Center is happy to support you regarding more administrative issues. Yeah, for now, thank you for your attention. And thanks for the opportunity to present this study course.
Thank you very much, Daniela. As always, very, very informative. And yeah, with that, let us now move to our next speaker. So let me quickly once again introduce him to you by sharing my screen. So yeah, now we are moving to Landshut, University of Applied Sciences. We are moving to quite to the south of Germany. We, as I already introduced, it's Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘱𝘳𝘕𝘱𝘱𝘱. And he will now introduce the bachelor level program in sustainable industrial operations and business. So, Professor, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, 𝘱𝘢𝘪. So let's get started. Thank you very much that you are here. Well, welcome also from my side. As 𝘱𝘢𝘪 mentioned, my name is 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝨀. I'm professor for international management and business administration. And 2020, end of 2020, I received a call from my president of our university close to Munich. Do you want to set up a new study program completely for the region, operations, sustainability, and so on? And we worked 2 years on a complete new study program, bachelor, and the topic is sustainable industrial operations and business. We are located in Landshut, and we create currently a new campus in Dingolfing. It's a small city, around about 20,000 people are living there, but it's very interesting. We have BMW with 19,000 employees also in Dingolfing located. Hence, it's really industrial topic. Later on, I show you also some further companies. Maybe you can also Google. There are worldwide approaching companies. So you see this picture. This is the campus of Dingolfing, the so-called Technology Centrum Production and Logistic. And we have a really new state-of-the-art or future production system. And you can also go to YouTube, for example, put in TZ for Technology Centrum, German, Puls PULS for production and logistics. And within this building, we set up the new study course, this 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, Sustainable Industrial Operations. And nearby, they will set up a new classrooms, new buildings, and so on. And if you join our study course here at Campus Dingolfing, this is really nice to be one of the first students of this complete customized new study course. We are here located today, industrial engineering. Yes, you will learn business administration on the one hand, on the other hand, technical topics, new topics, also future topics, and international in the frame of sustainability. So maybe you hear about this strategic goals, strategic development goals in terms of sustainability. We have 17. And this is one of the big drivers from the world, from the UN, down the cascaded to the different countries, to the different companies. And you need people, they have the right awareness, can speak to engineers, to marketing managers, and so on. And we provide all these capacities within this study course. So the unique interdisciplinary bachelor program 𝘱𝘢𝘪 combines against the backdrop of sustainability the mentioned technical parts, so engineering, mathematics, physics in the first semesters, I come to that later, the international parts, as well as the link together of these topics. You will learn knowledges, skills, and competences. And as Daniela, a couple of minutes before mentioned, we are also a University of Applied Sciences. We are close to the operations, really. And our professors, for example, my background is 15 years of Airbus. So it was in the last function, chief controller of the complete board of Airbus. Hence, I collected also a lot of experiences, also in sustainability and technical parts, research and development, as well as business. And I transfer this to my lectures. So you will learn the sustainable development parts, future operational and strategic development and production. So you are the green soul, for example, within the company over the complete value chain, really to have all these sustainability parts in mind. So you can also influence the society. You have more or less that knowledge, but it's more broadened, this knowledge. So I am the program director, and I sent to 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, maybe also in the complete chat room, the link to this study course. It's 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, Hochschule für angewandte Wissenschaften, -landshut.de/𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, SIOB. And then you come to our site. Maybe you can put on the top on EN for English, and then you can read all the topics in English. And crossing the fingers, tomorrow we will also have our image film. We had this production activities last week here in Dingolfing, the TZ Pulse topic. So it's a lighthouse project for Bavaria, study location and combined with the technology center. So we will combine really technique, business, and internationality within the frame, the big frame of sustainability. So the focus, the target group is regional student, but also international student. I'm an international teacher or a professor, hence I love it to work with the different cultures. For example, I wrote also my PhD thesis about these topics. So, and we focusing on industrial production and businesses. And the interfaces, for example, between engineering, procurement, the production, after sales, you have the complete ability about all these things. So first start on this winter semester, we are thinking about 60 students. Crossing the fingers, we will see how much will come. And when we are established over the next semester cohorts, then we have 400 until 450 students. And we rise up, we ramp up to 1,000 students because we will also offer further bachelor degree courses as well as master degree courses. So maybe you ask me about the career prospects. You will receive the degree of Bachelor of Engineering. So you're an engineer, but you can also rise up to a manager's level, also consulting position, because we have a lot of knowledge about sustainability, a lot of things on PowerPoint, and different companies, also big companies, they're talking about sustainability. Of course, they have something in mind, but the strategy down to the business, down to production, for example, we have to discuss to define several goals, for example, for different production areas. And also in a jury of the Sustainability Congress in Berlin took place in October last year, this year also in Berlin in October, and I hand over sustainability awards, and we checked the different companies, and I also asked the companies about the sustainability, the leadership, how to catch the people and bring it also to the sustainability path. So consulting position. In industrial companies, maybe also in subsidiaries, they work close together with OEM, for example, big companies. And in the city, in the region of Dingolfing, it's a small town, but I heard and I had a lot of discussion also in Berlin with international pupils and person, and they are all really interested. And let's sit to some citation of really big managers. And then Daniela, for example, mentioned also Deutsche Bahn. It's a big company in Germany. I hand over also a award to the boss of the or Vorstand board member of procurement, and he told me he would also study this study course here in Berlin. He goes back to the time machine because it's really good. So you work close together with different departments. You can work in the operations area, in the production area, in engineering departments, for example, in interfaces, customer service, project and process management, as well as a business consultant. Something about the topics, the modules within the course. I have to switch to the big screen, my head. So for example, of course, an engineer needs mathematics. Also, for example, later on, you have also artificial intelligence, data science. You need mathematics, at least basics. So principles of electrical engineering, computer sciences, of course. Then, for example, I read principle of business administration and economics, sustainable development principles, and so on. And we have further basic courses in the first 2 semesters. But, and this is also fine, for example, if you're not able to speak German, of course, it's important to speak German or a little bit in Germany, because it's much more easier the life. We offer you 4 semester working hours per semester, the first 3 semesters, to teach you German language. In the 4th semester, we have some Studium Generale study, general study, for example, also in German language. And we bring you at least at level of A1. We have also a language center here in Landshut, and you drive then to Dingolfing. It's from Dingolfing to Landshut, it's 30 kilometers away. And then you have here a school, and you learn with teachers the German language. So then we have further topics, for example, engineering, design, renewable energy, sustainability, marketing and sales, accounting, that you know and have the awareness how a company is the function of the company, for example. Then in the 5th semester, you have an internship. You learn something with companies, and later on the next page, I will show you some companies, for example, region. You can also go to Germany. You can go out of the world or out of Germany to the world and also do this. For example, I'm also program director for international engineering and management. And currently my 5th semester students are spread all over the world, Australia, America, all over the world. And yeah, then you come back, and then we have really also cool modules. For example, smart manufacturing and industry 4.0, data science and artificial intelligence, also supply chain management, the value chain, enterprise resource planning, also sustainable development, transformation and scenarios, and the international part. I'm also reading the international business and cross-cultural communication. And the last semester, you have mobility innovations. Mobility innovations are not only cars or buses. Think about drones who carry people from A to B. And this will be also the future. And then you will also learn this energy infrastructure. If you do not have any power, then it's nothing. Then the seminar on sustainable development as the last topic will be your bachelor thesis. And we have also a special topic for you. And this is the next slide, the so-called study and work. Study and work here in the region. So what is study and work? We try to catch regional industrial lecturer coming from the business, working 4 days in the business and a half day in our university to teach you state-of-the-art business and lectures. So I'm currently working on that we have, for example, after this meeting, I have a call with a BMW lady also to bring her into the curriculum. So semester and project work, also within the lectures, you work close together with several people from the companies. Or as a working student, you work, for example, 20 hours a week. Is it possible also weekend and so on? And then you can also bring your abilities to the companies and also gain abilities and knowledge. At the practical time, I mentioned it in the 5th semester, you go to the companies. Of course, in the 7th semester, the bachelor thesis is also related to companies and, of course, mentoring of students. For example, if you have some managers from BMW, 𝘱𝘓𝘕 and so on, you can also work with them. The last one is vacation jobs. For example, we have semester break between mid of February until mid of March, between winter and summer semester, and a little bit longer, 1 month longer, is between August and September. You have 8 weeks time, for example, doing your vacation time in your home country, for example, or work for 6-8 weeks for a company and earn a lot of money. So we have different companies. I think BMW, I don't have to explain it because it's a really big player in the automotive industry. Then you have 𝘱𝘓𝘕 is also a big company, around about 20,000 people. They are a subsidiary, better a supplier to the different automotive companies. IBM Papst is also located, it's a big player within the region. SIA is a software company. Maybe 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥 is a logistic provider. It's also a big company. Mann und Hammel, or Mann und Himmel, what is the English one? IBM Papst, Einhell. They are big companies also located, but you have teachers. Daniela mentioned, we are coming from the industry. We have also connections and direct contacts to different companies and so on. And this is also a bonus, a benefit to come to Dingolfing endeavor. So we challenge new one, you will be the first one. And if you see this kind of sustainable industrial operations and business in another company or another university, then it's a copy of my study course, of our study course. So warm welcome. Maybe will join us, and thank you very much. And I'm open for your questions.
Thank you very much, Professor. Very nice presentation. And yeah, the questions, I will just a reminder for the students also, we'll soon open the live Q&A session. where also some of the questions will be answered live, dear attendees. So that's why stay tuned. Meanwhile, let us now move to our last speaker for today. And then, as I said, we'll open floor for the live Q&A. So let me once again introduce to you Stefan Echbalian from Kiel University of Applied Sciences. Now we are moving to the very, very north of Germany, and we will talk about Industrial Engineering Master of Science level program. So Mr. Echbalian, please.
Well, again, welcome very much to my introduction to our Industrial Engineering Master's program. You see at the very first slide what our mission encompasses. It encompasses turning engineers into the next generation of industry leaders. So we're clearly targeting engineers. So not just industrial engineers, meaning if you have a background in any kind of engineering field or any related field, it could be also any form of applied natural science orientation, you're very welcome to further your education and get an understanding on how to take your theoretical knowledge and turn it into something that helps you lead and manage corporations, specifically international corporations. Screen seems not to be responding. All right. Okay. Here you see a short snapshot of a part of the impression that we see here every day. So we are, as you've just heard, we are at the north of Germany, right at the beach. We see that we have the big harbors here. We have a lot of companies that relate to the shipping industry. And so obviously the main focus for you to come here should be to learn, to broaden your horizon. Nevertheless, I mean, speaking to students, and I've been a student myself at one point, there are certain other benefits, like obviously enjoying, especially in the summertime, the opportunities that you have at the sea resort. And that's clearly one of the add-on benefits to being at Kiel in one of the most beautiful resorts for that purpose. So our focus is we look at our students and would like to see them not just from an academic perspective, but we see them as obviously as part of our task to turn them into well-rounded, open-minded, visionary, motivated generation of industry leaders. And that has a lot to do with the fact that as an industrial engineer, you are trained to bridge different disciplines. That means that you, on one hand, seize opportunities that you see on a technological or also on a business side, because you can understand both mindsets very well and are equipped with the necessary skills and to recognize what indeed is an opportunity, where someone who would be trained in only one field, engineering or management, would probably miss out and would not recognize it. Another aspect that characterizes one of our focal points is the fact that we are combining specific industry expertise. So what we can say is that pretty much all of our professors and lecturers, they come all from an industrial background. They have been all in leading executive positions in the industry, as well as have a sound academic education. So they understand, again, I'd almost tend to say the best of both worlds. So on one hand, recognizing the importance of having a solid theoretical understanding, being aware of the cutting edge technology and research that other academics have put together, and but at the same time realizing the limitations that often have to do with recognizing what in practice may be relevant or maybe maybe not so relevant. So focus points from a content perspective is, as I just highlighted, industry relevant knowledge. So this comes in terms of from our learning content. This has to do with what we're focusing on, using obviously making use of lots of case studies, international case studies. We're using a lot of the Harvard Business School literature and generally internationally recognized literature and research papers, but also bringing in the expertise and the background and the anecdotal knowledge from our professors who can tell you a lot about how they faced practical challenges and how they managed to solve the issues that they were confronted with. Learning, thinking, being international, obviously being here in Kiel, you will see quickly that we are a very international community. Most students are from all over the world. So we have, it's not necessarily dominated by German or European students. We are fairly international in composition. Also, as I said, our professors, they have been studying and working abroad quite intensively. I myself was trained as a management scholar in Cambridge University, spent many years in Canada, in the US, in Silicon Valley, where I was doing my research work, and also built companies at various locations in Norway, in the UK, in the US. So you will find there is an international atmosphere here, and which is not just focusing on the pure content, but also how content is going to be delivered and added with the expertise of the various faculty that is trying to get you involved in appreciating this kind of knowledge. If you look at the content, like the specific modules and how the course has been structured, we broke it down into these kind of 3 sections: pre-production, production logistics, and post-production. So basically you can think through it as going through the value chain, where before you start producing anything, you will be confronted with management and leadership issues. Innovation entrepreneurship is a module that's being introduced early on because it often addresses points that are relevant before the company has produced anything, where you're still at an idea stage, and then how to build and how to take this to the next level where it comes to producing something. When you move then to aspects like how do you organize, how do you build a factory, how do you manage and optimize material flow. Here we're using lots of simulation techniques, and you get familiar with that. That's what we're introducing you to. Materials handling is also part of it. And post-production, as we call it, when it comes then to thinking in terms of marketing, of international distribution, e-business management, and of course, international negotiation and contracting, which is again a skill that, as far as I know, I mean, you won't find at many German universities, even though we consider it a highly important one, especially if you will be expected to be actively managing in a multinational corporation. And then obviously all this is embedded in a series of modules that address and have relevance in all areas, like total quality management, controlling, corporate finance, or sustainable strategic management, because this is it. None of these areas can be without it. So overall, you get a full, like a solid solid preparation in all those disciplines and sub-disciplines that equip you to become an effective manager. That's really our aim, what we would like to train you for. How is our program organized? Well, we have the first 2 semesters where you would be being taught these various modules. And in the 3rd semester, in an ideal scenario, you would then run your industry project in a company, in the industry. And then in the 4th semester, write your thesis. When it comes to also our course structure, I have to say that we specifically designed our program so you can join it and run it as a full-time program. And in this case, this time schedule is very realistic. But it also caters to students who, like, while they're joining our program, that maybe after the 2nd semester, some even start working for companies. When they're joining us, they can also run it part-time to say, okay, in this case, obviously you won't be able to go through it, at least in most cases, you won't be able to go through it in 4 semesters. You may take 5, 6 semesters because it's just would be impossible to work part-time, full-time, and then run a master's program like this. It will take you longer, but it's possible. And one of the features of that are quite distinct in our program is that all our lectures and seminars are all centered around weekends. So during the week, that's purposely you have time to study, and we have what we call blended learning methodology. That's what we apply. which means that it's a combination of presence-based learning, where you're confronted in a classroom and work with other students and lecturers. But at the same time, the other pillar of our learning experience is based on online learning. So we're combining these. We're trying to, again, here also combine the best of those two worlds. On one hand, being physically together with other students and lecturers. And at the same time, if you're on your own, if you're studying, you can make use of our online facilities, which apparently seem to work quite effectively. Here's a series of various modules, and you can also go to our website. Don't want to dive into it too much, but if you go to our website, which I will give you the link, and it will be on this platform, so you can have a look at those, and it gives you a glimpse of what it is that we are focusing on, like as I mentioned before, controlling, international distribution, process-based business development, and as I say, everything. Like there's an elective in sustainable strategic management, but sustainability is something that you will find more or less in pretty much all modules, because I think today you cannot think corporate finance without aspects of, say, sustainability, because there are funds that are dedicated for it. If you think about, you want to get, for example, get your company funded, get the finances, sustainability becomes an issue. You quickly realize that. And the same for production, same for distribution. So that's something we've addressed, that concern, and that's why you will find us throughout our course. What do we expect from you? I mean, what are the admission criteria? Well, first of all, you have to demonstrate that you successfully mastered a Bachelor of Engineering, that you got a degree in Bachelor of Engineering, get currently an average mark of at least a good 2.8 according to German grading system, demonstrate proven English proficiency, and have, in addition, generally we expect 1 year of work experience. If it's part-time, it's a minimum of 50% of a full-time equivalent. Also, voluntary work can be recognized. But it's important for us that if you just finished your bachelor, have never worked in your life, then that we probably advise you to get first some practical experience, because otherwise you will not benefit as much from that course. Because what you will see is, if you speak to our professors who also come from an industry background, you will much easier connect to and understand when they start sharing their experience, if you already also seen a company from inside and are familiar with some of the issues. Key facts about the program, if I summarize it, well, it's a Master of Science. It's a fully accredited master program in Germany. Main language is English. So if you don't speak German, it's not a problem, but we also strongly encourage you, while you're here, use this opportunity and study and learn the German language, because it makes it much easier also if you're applying for jobs in Germany. Our students intake on average is like between 35 and 45 students per semester. Total fee, 9,900 for a 2-year program. If you take longer, this is a question that often comes up, we're not going to charge you more. There will be a kind of a semester-wise a semester fee, but that's, as I say, a relatively small amount. And application deadlines are pointed here: 15th of March for the summer semester, 15th of September for the winter semester. Here's the link again for the university. You have also you can also just scan in the code, and then you can go and find out more information. I'd like finally to end this with encouraging you to join us and get ready to manage and lead international enterprises based on cutting-edge research findings, top-level industry expertise, as well as ecological sustainability, which we consider being at the heart of our DNA. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Balian, for your presentation. And with that, let me now open the floor for the live Q&A session. So let me start from the very beginning. And thank you, Teresa, as always, for helping me out. So first is, let me start with a question from Funet. Will experience in industry compensate for poor grades? And it was for BBW.
Well, to a certain degree, yes, that can be. At the whole, we have our average grade requirement of satisfactory or 3.0 in German grades. In GPA, that would be 2.0. But if you have less than that, it's still possible to get into the course. Then we will ask for a motivation letter. And then, of course, if you have experience in the industry, that's always a plus, and that you can mention in that letter so that you might still get in.
Okay, great. So there are different ways of compensating, which is good. Thank you for sharing all the details. And dear attendees, just as a note, all the emails that were mentioned on the slides, you can also see them in the chat for BBW or for Landshut or for Kiel. So just in case you want to save them for the future. The next question is for Professor Ковля. Professor, do you require any set grade in math and physics?
No, we don't need any set grades. We need a admission to study in Germany. And of course, it's a mixture between business and technical parts. Hence, you have to have in mind to be able to deal with technical topics, for example, mathematics. If you're completely against mathematics and say, no, I don't want to study that, then you're wrong. But if you want to do some kind of mathematics, of course, you are here in engineering, and engineering is also mathematics, then it's fine.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you very much. Now let me move to Stefan. So the question is, in case of Kiel, how much percentage of studies is done online?
How much percent of studies is online? Well, what I can say is, I haven't calculated it in percentage terms, but what I can say is, if you take the full program and work as a not taking it part-time, you could probably say that every weekend, pretty much every weekend, will be filled with present phase lecturing and seminars. And the rest, as I say, is obviously then online.
Okay, clear. Thank you. Now, dear attendee, you can calculate maybe yourself the percentage if you, it's very important for you. Let's move now to another question for BBW, and again from Punet. Well, are there any age restrictions for the program?
No, not at all. I mean, you have to be at least 18 years old, but for a master's degree program, you probably are anyway. But no, it's no age limit from the higher age then.
Yeah, unless you are a genius and you are already, I don't know. So yeah, maybe you are, who knows? But yes, thank you, Teresa. Then next question from Zeynep, it is for Professor Kovля. Can I do an internship in my home country?
Yes, of course. It should be a link to sustainability, but in today's world, you have a lot of topics in sustainability. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Now a question for Stefan from Laura. Stefan, is the background in business accepted for this study program?
If you only have a business background, then unfortunately you don't qualify for it. You have to have an engineering background or natural science background with a strong applied focus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, clear. Then is a question, I think it was for BBW. I have my advanced subsidiary results, but my A2 results have not yet come. Can I apply with predicted grades from the school, Teresa or Daniela?
I have to say that I do not quite understand the question, I must admit.
Maybe it's something about English requirements.
A2?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, if it would refer to German skills, then those German skills would be needed. English, we need B2 level. Yeah. But if it refers to something else, I would like to ask the participant to elaborate a bit.
Yes, exactly. This was what also I want to ask. Please elaborate more, specify what exactly your question is, and then we'll, of course, make our best to answer you. So let's move now. Yeah, I was expecting this question. Professor, it's for you, Professor Kovля. So as it's a bachelor level program, so do you have a possibility to do the Studienkolleg in Landshut?
Studienkolleg, what do you mean with the Studienkolleg?
So yeah, because so I suppose the student has a certificate which is not equivalent to German Abitur, and he or she needs to take a preparatory course or Studienkolleg to catch up with the German requirements for school, and then to get into your program. So this is how I understood.
Okay, first to start in Landshut University, for example, do some kind of modules and so on, and then switch over next semester or in the winter semester 24, 25, then going to to 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘠. This would be a possible way.
Okay. And the follow-up question was, maybe we could also redirect you to someone, your attendee. So the question is, hello, professor. I've already asked several times to different speakers also. If I apply it and it turns out that according to German rules, I need to do preparation year in Studienkolleg, does it mean that my application to you and my spot is lost?
Only for Landshut University, yes. Then you are for this semester out, winter semester. Then you have to work on the study modules, for example, this colleague, and then you have to apply next year.
Okay, clear. Thanks, Professor.
Yep.
So the question for Kiel from Merab: are specializations possible in Kiel?
Specializations, like for our program, we don't have dedicated specializations. You could join other modules that are offered at the university, but I have to say it's not as common, as I say, because what we're offering normally is satisfied the needs of most of our students. So we rarely have a request for that.
Yeah, still good to know. Thank you. For 𝑽𝑽𝑣, this was a very interesting question. So regarding the bachelor certificate, if I only have my bachelor certificate after the deadline, can I still apply to 𝑽𝑽𝑣?
Yes, that is possible. We actually recommend to start your application as soon as you are decided to apply for our programs. Upload all the documents that you have so far online and submit it. And then we will contact you anyway if something else is needed. And also we can be quite flexible about the deadline. So that is no problem. We will need the bachelor degree certificate or a provisional degree certificate in order to give you the admission. But if it's after the deadline, that's not a problem.
Okay, great. Thanks, Teresa. Now it's a question also about internship for Landshut. So Professor, you mentioned that it should be connected to the discipline, of course, but are there any other specific requirements that the internship experience should include? The question is.
Yeah, okay, understood. You have to do your internship in a broad field of industrial engineering. I mentioned the interfaces, procurement, engineering, production, after sales. You have to work on that like a future industrial engineer has to work.
Okay, clear. Stefan, from Laura, with a part-time track, can you add maximum 2 semesters or more or less?
No, you can add more semesters. To my knowledge, I have to go back on it and double check what's the limitation, but I remember that it definitely would. What I know is that there were students who were finishing their degrees after 8 or 9 semesters. So there is quite some room up there, because as I say, it's not very usual, but I think it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. There was a question from Merab also for 𝑽𝑽𝑣, and he said that's great that you have a great German module. Yeah. And how many semesters will it last? The German studies.
So yes, it's a technical German module that lasts for 2 semesters and makes you familiar with the technical terms. You will work with real technical text with their instructor, and no prior knowledge to German is needed. Usually there are 2 groups in a course, those with prior knowledge, those without it, and the lecturer is well experienced to make anybody feel comfortable and that they can learn a lot. If you are interested in learning German at a whole, then it's best to go to language schools in Berlin. There are so many choices of modules and formats and so on. We will be happy to share our knowledge there as well.
Perfect. For Landshut, what is the application deadline?
The application is currently running until 15th of July.
July. Okay, so exactly 1 month is left.
Yeah.
Great. So the next question, for Stefan. So if I meet all of the requirements, the admission is not guaranteed. Is it correct?
So, sorry. Well, if you meet all the requirements, then to my knowledge, your chances of being accepted is extremely high. That I can say. I'm not sure whether it's guaranteed, but it's pretty certain.
Okay, great. Thanks. So yeah, I think Daniela also mentioned it during her presentation, and then Teresa also provided answer regarding the accommodation in Berlin. Yeah, you might be scared, so because yeah, it's a capital, it might be difficult, but Daniela said that it's also relatively affordable compared to other big cities. Maybe Daniela or Teresa, would you like to add to more on this? A very quick advice, like how can students can quickly find the accommodation so that they don't have to worry about it if they come to Berlin?
I think the best tip that I can give is to spread the word, to do the networking. And also already online, you can join in on social media, the groups where you can find tips and ads for accommodations. Yes, it is not easy. I don't want to lie, but it's possible. And if you are determined and keep on searching, then you will find a place.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, there's a nice Bahnhof. I'm joking. So, hello, my question is to all speakers. Can you mention how your programs address Lean and Six Sigma methodologies? Thank you. So whoever feels comfortable with this, you can start, please.
Well, I can maybe
Please.
just directly, because we have a module also in quality management and also in logistics. I think that where we directly address Six Sigma, and so yeah, it's part of the curriculum.
Okay, great, good to know. Thank you.
Okay, from a Landshut perspective, of course, it's also incorporated. This is not a new topic, Lean and Six Sigma, of course not. And for example, Lean, it will be very nice in the Technologiezentrum in Dingolfing. You will see Lean Future. So maybe you can take also YouTube, TZ Pulse or the Pulse, and then you will see it with robots and a lot of things. Really, this is Lean. You see it every day.
Okay. Great, thanks. So, and in case of BBB?
Well, I'm not the expert in this field, but I would expect that it's also part of our curriculum. And if there are specific questions about it, I can only encourage you to contact our professors, because they will be happy to answer these questions. Yeah.
And I think it was Daniela presented Robert Dust email was there.
Exactly.
If he's also in the chat, please feel free to do so. Or of course, the curriculums are openly available. You can check the syllabus and find out answer to this question. Okay, so
maybe one final remark to this, because I think that might be interesting. Like what we also have is we have an institute where we can demonstrate and practice Industry 4.0. And here you can basically learn how to build a company, have the robots to convert what you're simulating, what you're translating, and then actually build products. So it's a full the full process is actually from a virtual planning to an execution is possible to see that, and you will be trained in that as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for this addition, Stefan. Very much appreciated. So the question is from Mobina, and it was followed what Teresa said, because Teresa mentioned that a letter of motivation can be written so that you can also write and strengthen your application. So, and the question is, writing an essay will have a positive impact on your master's application. So, for example, now in case of BBB, we could find out that yes, it will have a good impact if you write it. And in case of Kiel, will it matter to write a letter of motivation for you or essay?
Yes, definitely. It is always welcome, and it always helps to get a full picture of the student applying. Mm-hmm. What's important, as I said, is in any case, demonstrate and include your working practice where you have been, even when you did it while you were a student, ideally after, but even while you were a student, if you've been working, if you gained industry experience, it's definitely strongly encouraged to mention that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Question for Landshut, and yeah, it's question at the same time exclamation as well. So it's question from Zeynep. Is the program really free?
Yes and no. Of course, yes, but you have to pay per semester 78 euros.
Yeah.
So below 100 euros in a semester.
Yeah, basically it's free. So we can say
Yeah.
that basically it's
Yeah.
free. So you don't have to pay any tuitions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's the 78. Is it also the ticket for transportation is also included there, or they have to?
No, I don't think so. But
Okay.
It's a small city, really. You can go by walk.
And yeah, it's also the attendees now. It's a Deutschland ticket, which you can also buy for 49 euros, and you can use it everywhere, throughout the Germany, which is great.
Yeah.
I didn't have this during my student times. Yeah, okay. So next question is, I do not know if I missed it, but what the academic field requirements to apply to the master's courses? So let's start with BBB. Any specific fields that backgrounds that you expect only, or you are broad, flexible in this regard?
No, we are broad and flexible in this regard. If it's let's put it this way, if it's too far off the subject, then we will maybe ask again for a motivational letter so that we know why you are motivated to change your field. But yeah, that's all that we need.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think Stefan mentioned that it should be somehow connected still to industrial engineering, right?
Yes, it should be connected, but if in fact any kind of engineering field, like if it was, even if it's like mechanical engineering is an obvious choice, but even if you're coming from a biochemistry side of it, because any engineering field has in fact the potential, or has in fact a market in industry that applies it and builds on it. So from that perspective, we believe that if you have this foundation and you are aiming to become a manager, a leading manager in the industry, then what we can offer you should complement and help you to move in that direction.
Clear. Thank you. So let me stay with you, Stefan. One more question was for you. Is the program flexible in terms of selecting electives and arranging semesters? Yeah, basically you also somehow addressed already both of these questions while answering other questions, but would you like to add something more to this?
Yes, well, as I say, you can, every semester there are certain number of modules being offered, and you're free to choose and say, okay, I want to take this semester only these two, because I've, as I said, maybe I started working in a company. If you want to go to part-time track, and therefore I do the other modules later. So in that sense, you're really free to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the also the elective, they are offered at certain semesters, so in the winter or summer semester, and then you can choose also what you would like to or what you would like to take at a specific semester.
Okay, clear. Thanks. So now, yeah, I wrote in the chat, dear attendees, for the scholarship informations, because scholarship system in Germany is a bit different. Then you can still get some scholarships from public foundations, which are separate from the university, like, for example, the DAD. And there's a list of scholarships that are available for you, because there were two questions regarding the scholarships, but from the university. So so now I'm asking our guests if there are any specific scholarships that are available as a part of your program. Please feel free to share with students. If not, then yeah, dear attendees, you can check out these basic scholarships, and the link is in the chat. Okay, so there was this question, the general one again, is the way to get exempted from the blocked account requirement for a master's program. So whether it's a master's or bachelor's program and you need a student visa, a German student visa to come and study here, or even the German residence permit, like for US citizens or Canada or Australia, etc. You can see in the chat, I also wrote some alternatives that you could use for the blocked account, and scholarships are one of them, but there are some specifics you have to take into account. Please feel free to read the article. Next question from Same. Can I pay per semester, or shall I pay the whole course at the beginning? Yeah, this question goes maybe for everyone, relevant for everyone? Let's start with 𝑗𝑗.
You can do both. If you like, you can pay the whole amount in one go, or you pay per semester. That's fine.
Okay. In Kiel?
That's the same.
Same. And with Landshut, how is it?
You have to pay the fee semester-wise, this small amount.
Yeah, the semester contributions. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Question from Fateme Azarian. Is having an invention patent effective for admission? Let's start with Landshut.
No.
No.
Short answer.
Okay, great. With Kiel?
Well, in fact, if it's relevant, I mean, well, if you could say that if you can demonstrate that you've been working on a patent in an industrial context, or as an entrepreneur, possibly demonstrating you've been working actively on it, possibly this could be also added to this aspect of showing or demonstrating industry experience. But it's something we would need to look into. Generally, I would say it's obviously something nice to see because it shows your involvement, your engagement in this field of applying knowledge and developing knowledge, but it's neither a requirement nor is it a guarantee that this will be substituting any of the requirements.
Okay, great. Thank you. In the case of 𝑗𝑗?
I think that sums it very nicely up. Of course, it's nice to know that, and it may show your extra motivation for the study program. But yeah, it's not a guarantee then too.
Okay. And the last question for today from Sharare. My bachelor degree is in business administration. Can I apply for this program? For which exactly? So I think you are asking about Kiel and 𝘱𝑗, I suppose, but both these questions were already addressed exactly. So yeah, just try, apply. There's a broad perspective. And if in case of Kiel, if business administration is also somehow connected, also engineering, it's even better. I think I got it correctly. Please feel free to add more.
Well, as I said, it's just business administration. Unfortunately, yeah. You wouldn't be able to, you would not be accepted. But if you say business administration, like in combination with mechanical or any kind of engineering field, so that you can show that you have this academic degree that reflects the engineering part of it, then, well, then definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And last question is for me, how to see the status of my diploma in Germany. So it is connected also to Landshut somehow because it's about Studienkolleg. And in the chat, you can see ANABIN and DAD websites where you can check out how your diploma or your high school is accepted in Germany and whether you will need to do Studienkolleg or you can directly get into Landshut's program. So please check out, there is clearly stated. All right, great. 17:15. Wow, this was very, very good timing, so to say. So thank you very much, first of all, to our guests for being here with us, for introducing their programs and for answering questions brilliantly, I would say. Also, thanks to attendees for also tuning in and for your interest. If you would like to leave us some feedback, of course, you could always do it on our Facebook or Google pages. Also, if you have any questions to us, please feel free to get in touch with us. Visit our website, make a good use of our free content, get in touch with us via email or get in touch with our guests whenever you have any specific question to them. Of course, it's good to get in touch with them and you already have their email contacts there available in the chat. Once again, thank you very much, everyone, for your time. I wish you a very good rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.